This is the Real Pod Newscast with Levon Putney with a quick check on what's going on. So here's my man to get into it.
Happy Friday. Thanks for listening during the actual most wonderful time of the year, at least to me. First day of spring, March Madness, NBA playoffs right after, WNBA after that, and I'm glad they got that contract settled with the W. And then Summer Madness. But hey, before we get going, though, want to shout out that Third War Connection from Houston, Shelly Wade. Begged her to do a little cross-promoting between our shows since I learned a marketing term, cross-promotion. Wanted to use it. And Shelly also has a podcast, The Goodness Factor, on top of her afternoon duties at 94.7 The Block in Manhattan. Yeah, see, this is why I tease her about always being on the go. I thought I was a busybody, but she played a clip from Tuesday's Real Pod in her show this week, and so I'll do the same in the last section before celebrity birthdays. Give y'all a taste of Shelly's show, The Goodness Factor. It is what it is. The Goodness Factor. The name says it all. Her season 2, by the way, that just started with an interview with Neo, and said next week she'll have a Q&A with Shaggy, Mr. Boombastic, who, in fact, was remembering Eddie Murphy Raw when he came up with the title. It wasn't me. Yeah, I heard him talk about that recently. But, hey, check out Shelly's show. I'll run that clip in a bit.
My favorite stories of the day.
Here is a KTLA5 reporter's live shot last Sunday morning outside a home in the L.A. suburb of Monrovia. Looks like she and the photog were set up across the street from the house, but I'll let everything else speak for itself.
And now they're trying to determine if it is the same bear that lives underneath the house here behind me. All those details coming up.
And yes, we all see that bear off to the right side. We'll get back with Aaron in just a moment. We all know California.
I see it now.
Okay, let's go back to Aaron Myers. We're going back now. Aaron, what are you seeing out there? And be careful, please.
Hi, you guys. You can see the bear actually walking into the trap, or nope, it was going to, but now it's walking out. We're going to step back a little bit.
And that was one big bear. They stayed with her live shot for a few minutes after that. That's not normal. And watched the bear walk off, then run up into another yard when a mini SUV drove by. Nobody hurt in the end. The reporter and photog were safe. Just something they will never forget. In other news, also on LA's very own KTLA5, two for here, last Wednesday the 11th, a story they confirmed with a Norway-based sex tech company that back on February 16th, a freight train did make it to Dallas from LA without, though, about $250,000 worth of male sex toys. But a company rep shared pictures with KTLA showing a couple boxes torn open, and the company's formal loss complaint listed the goods in those boxes as 289 of the Handy Massage 2 Pro units and 330 of the Handy Massage 2 Reg units, all gone somewhere between LA and Dallas. Now, just to make sure, I did look up the Handy Massage 2 to see. Yeah, name pretty self-explanatory. In Florida, on the Gulf side, in Northport, News Channel 8 posted a story a couple weeks ago of a guy accused of being drunk when he explained to police a little before 9 that night that since noon, he and his wife had been, quote, partying at the club. Going on to say they were headed home when that golf cart he was driving went over a speed bump and his wife fell out and hit her head. So much so Channel 7 Sarasota is reporting she was in stable condition the last they checked, but the wife had to be airlifted to a hospital. Meanwhile, her husband arrested for DUI in that golf cart. Real talk, a bicycle rider can be charged with DUI if drunk. Hey, the more you know. In Greenburgh, Pennsylvania, is where WTAE Action News 4 out of Pittsburgh found out a bartender will hear you out, but will also snitch. I mean, you know, we have this thing about thinking bartenders will keep it all in. Nah, police tell Action News that a bartender called them a month ago on a Saturday night in late February the 21st and said there's a white male at the bar with a parakeet. The bird has a broken foot, and he is telling everybody at the bar that he feeds it marijuana and makes it drink beer. Currently, the bird is in his pocket. Dispatcher's exact words from the 911 call while relaying to officers to go get this 40-year-old dude. They did. At first arrested him for public intoxication and then tacked on an animal cruelty charge once they saw the parakeet did have a broken foot. And he did keep it in his pocket, at least according to police. Now, one officer reportedly took it to a vet hospital to care for that broken foot and found that little parakeet was weak, underweight, dehydrated. If his diet was indeed weed and beer, that would explain a lot. Back in a moment, but before we break, let's check out the Jams podcast. He's still pumping out some good mixes.
Blazing the best hip-hop, R&B, reggae, soca.
You can download the Jams podcast mix for free. Just Google search Jams podcast mix.
It's Jams Hour Mix with Greg H. And now, a moment of peace.
Safari over. Grab that mic and recorder. Let's go. Simba, it is all yours, buddy. Let's get the hell out of here. Got me up messing with these cats.
Thank you for this moment of calmness, brought to you by the ASMR Network.
And now for the world around us.
You know, it's bad enough to think back at how medicine and healthcare was handled before the 1800s. You know, no anesthesia except drinking alcohol, and there's not enough alcohol in the world. No hand washing before surgery, and yeah, opening up a human's body for surgery without anesthesia. Man, think about that. But Reuters, I obviously been thinking about it, but Reuters is reporting archaeologists in Bergama, Turkey, found a 1900-year-old glass vial used for holding perfumes and poop. Apparently, they found traces of human feces in this glass vial, believed to be the first physical evidence that the Romans used boo-boo as medicine. Hopefully not in cough syrup. A woman in Nigeria's city of Port Harcourt proves she needs a job because Jaliba TV, hope I'm saying it right, Jaliba TV, is reporting Guinness World Records confirmed back on the 5th that this young woman is the new title holder for the highest number counted out loud. In other words, this woman spent 70 days from last October to mid-December counting from 1 to 1,070,000. And that's where she stopped after 70 straight days of rattling off numbers into the headset she was wearing. So they have proof. The old record, that stood, there was an old record for this, and it stood for 18 years. And not only did she break it, she counted 70,000 more numbers 19 days faster than the 89 days that an American took back in 2007. That's when he had the time to accomplish this. And you want to think about it, don't want to really think about it, but 2007, a lot of people did lose their jobs around that time, so maybe he did have the time. There's this weird tradition in Finland that may make some folks want to bring up Donner, Dasher, Vixen, and Rudolph because the Associated Press sent a reporter and photographer to the town of Sala the weekend before last for the annual Sala Reindeer Cup. About 1,000 were there. People were there watching this in this town near the Russian border for a reindeer race. Pulling humans on skis. They were actually going, boy. The AP is saying people came from countries like Italy, Norway, Germany, and France all to watch reindeer games. The head of the Sala Reindeer Cup says that annual race has been happening since the 1950s. So now we know how Santa picked them. Back in a moment.
Let's sing along.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
And best of all, Drobots come with a lifetime warranty and free exchanges for the newest model.
We are here. So please get out, you lazy bum. I need to recharge.
So why not? Get your new driving buddy today.
And don't let the door hit you where the Lord split you. Come on, bum. I have to recharge.
Drobots are sold absolutely nowhere.
Girl, you smell good.
Oh, you mean my blouse? Yeah, no, I just started using this new laundry detergent.
Perfume, detergent, whatever, it's smelling good.
A sweet scent, the simple, most appropriate name we could think of.
Hey, excuse me?
What's up with what's going down, though?
Yeah, what's up with Shelly introing herself?
Hey, it's Shelly Wade, host of the Goodness Factor with Shelly Wade podcast, where we report good news and shine the spotlight on good people doing good things. Each episode, I interview a do-gooder, a person doing good things in their community, and I share with you a good word, some inspirational words to take into the week with you. I also report good news the world over inside the Goodness Report, like this story. And celebs are out here doing good things too. Eminem and his daughter, through the Marshall Mathers Foundation, have wiped out about $700,000 in unpaid school lunch debt across 103 Michigan schools, helping out thousands of families in the process by lifting that financial burden off of their shoulders and allowing students to just focus on their education and not have to worry about unpaid meal balances. The Marshall Mathers Foundation aims to support disadvantaged and at-risk youth in the Detroit area. Please do subscribe to the audio version of The Goodness Factor with Shelley Wade podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and subscribe to the video version of the podcast on the YouTube channel, The Goodness Factor with Shelley Wade.
I'm tired of doing it all alone. Fetch me that doggy bone. I remember in court told the judge, "Boy, those kids ain't mine." Judge said, "Feed them till they look like you, or you are gonna do some time."
And that's a wrap for another Real Pod newscast. Thanks for listening, and please subscribe and follow for both the podcast itself and on the show's social media pages. I also drop song credits used during the newscast portion on the show's Facebook page. And tip time, don't lose too much money betting on March Madness. Remember, too, when it comes to those 5-12 matchups, pick at least one or two of those 12th seeds to win. Thank me later. Have a great fun weekend, everybody. Back on Tuesday.
This has been the Real Pod Newscast with Levon Putney from Show Enough Productions. And for more, hit up the website, realpodnewscast.com. That's real with 2 E's. This is Big Daddy Marty Allen. Thanks for listening.
All right, thanks,
Yes,
Aaron.
a big
Aaron
bear,
Myers,
too.
thank you.
Big bear.
I'm stroking to the east and stroking to the west. Show enough.